Good evening. It is great to be home. If you want to call Little Rock home, it's really Tim Griffin's home, but as I guess I can be his house guest. It's great to be out of Washington, let me just put it that way, and back in the great state of Arkansas. I had a wonderful opportunity to go by the Capitol today and speak to the Arkansas State Senate. It was a high point of the week for me, to be able to stand in the presence of some of the great leaders in the deliberative body of the Arkansas General Assembly. We call it the deliberative body in Congress, so I trust that it's the deliberative body at the state capitol. Look, we are, as you know, we are in the midst of a tremendous ideological battle in Washington about what the future of our country is going to look like. And I'm going to take my time tonight to just focus on a couple of things relative to Washington that I want to be your takeaway here tonight. On March 3rd, I was up in D.C. that weekend, and I picked up my Washington Post, and the headline, the big headline was, Obama's legacy will be 2014. And I mean, I had to look at the headline again, because I know Obama just got re-elected in 12, and he's not going to be up again at all, thankfully. But they're saying his legacy is going to be something that's going to happen in 2014. And I take that to mean that they are now pinning his legacy on one thing, and that is to give him the only thing that is standing in the way of him imposing this liberal agenda on America. And that is taking the gavel from John Boehner and handing it back to Nancy Pelosi. So the first takeaway I want you to have tonight is we as Republicans have to be alert to the fact that organizing for action, the Obama machine, is going to be released into America across the heartland and will be used to target a lot of districts where there are Republicans who are there today in R1 or R2 or D1 or D2 districts, and do what they can to reclaim the majority in the House of Representatives. That has to be, if the 14 legacy headline is true, that has to be their mission. And we have to be alert to that. And that means even in Arkansas, when we get comfortable knowing that our members are doing our work in Washington and appear to be safe, as they call a lot of these seats, that even though members in the Arkansas delegation appear to be safe, our colleagues that help us make the 234-seat majority in the House of Representatives, some of these colleagues are anything but safe. And let me just stray from that for just a moment, because I know that there has already been one of the conservative organizations, very popular conservative organizations, that has named even one of my colleagues from Arkansas as somebody that may need to be targeted in 2014, and that is not a good sign. And so I am hopeful that we will do everything we can to protect the flanks of the people that we have serving in our conference from Arkansas today, and that we will do what is necessary to help me and them help our colleagues to protect our majority, so that in 2015 the banner or the gavel still rests with the GOP. So that's the first takeaway tonight. The second takeaway tonight is that there are a handful of Senate races that are going to take place. There are more than a handful, but there's a handful of Senate races that are going to take place in 2014 that are critical if we're going to take the gavel from Harry Reid and hand it over to a majority in the U.S. Senate. Now, I can't speak for Rick or Tom or Tim, although I believe that what I'm going to tell you they would echo, and that is we get a lot of great things done in the House of Representatives. You don't read much about them because something magically happens to a lot of those great things as they work their way across the rotunda and to the other side to the deliberative body. They go into this abyss known as the Harry Reid inbox, and they never see the light of day in the Senate. And the reason they don't see the light of day in the Senate is because Harry Reid does not want to expose a lot of his vulnerable Democrat colleagues to tough votes, up or down votes on issues that mean a lot to America, will change the course of history in America, and will be vital for us to resume the control in the United States Senate. So, not only do we need to protect our turf in the House, if we're going to pick up the Senate, we're going to have to work doubly hard. And Arkansas will be in play in 2014. I had a conversation with Senator McConnell the other day. And the minority leader said this, and I believe he's right. He said, Steve, we have no margin for error. None. Which makes some of the mistakes that we've made as candidates in the past, last year and 2 years before, even more important. No margin for error. So when we're talking about seats in North Carolina or Louisiana, and indeed in Arkansas, and there are others, we need to make sure that we're playing here and we're playing there and doing everything we can to help the GOP win the majority in the Senate and put America on a different course. Those are my two takeaways for you tonight. This is important stuff that we're doing. And I want to brag on the General Assembly here in Arkansas, the Republican-led House and Senate, to have the courage to do the things that you're doing, not only on social issues, but on fiscal issues and on voting issues. I applaud the fact that you've had the courage to stand up to the governor and to override vetoes. Those are very, very important, and it is charting a new course for our state. And our state will be the beneficiary for many, many years to come, thanks to your leadership and your courage. So on behalf of a grateful member of Congress from Arkansas's 3rd District, God bless you all. Thanks for having us, and have a great evening tonight. It's good to be here.